Movieland and Gardaland, two great theme parks based a stone's throw away from each other at the south of Lake Garda in Italy. We visited both on our latest trip and had two great family days out. In this video, we are going to look into the best and the worst of both parks, so if you've only got the opportunity to visit one on your holiday, hopefully this will help you choose. Number one on our list is price. Now, this isn't as straightforward of a comparison as you would hope. Price depends on what day in the year you go, and these prices are accurate for what we paid in May 2024. Let's start with Movieland. Movieland is a part of Carnival World, of which consists of the theme park and a water park, Carnival Aqua Park. So you have the option of a single park ticket at €34 for adults, €28 for kids between 100 and 140 centimetres, both parks in the same day at €42 each, regardless of whether you are a child or adult, or you can do what we did and get the two parks over 2 days ticket for €44 each. With all of these options, those under 100 centimetres go free. I personally think that this is really good value, especially the 2-day ticket option that we opted for. The Aqua Park is amazing and so worth a visit. It was my favourite day of our holiday. We've done all of the big water parks in Florida, and so we weren't expecting much from this, but it really impressed us all. On to Gardaland. Gardaland is a Merlin entertainment park. What does this mean for tickets? It means it operates in exactly the same way as their UK parks. There is a set pre-book rate per day online and a heavily inflated rate if you buy at the gate. So please, please, please pre-book your tickets or you'll literally be throwing your money away. Gardaland's pre-book price starts from €44 per adult and €39 per child, but this varies massively, reaching peaks of around €52 for adults and €46 for children in the summer months. At Gardaland, children are considered under 10 years of age, and those under 90 centimetres get in for free. If you wait to buy these on the gate, you are going to be in for a nasty surprise. Take this as your warning. If you have a Merlin annual pass like us, you can buy tickets on the day for a 50% discount on the gate price. This generally works out cheaper than just pre-booking them online. For example, we visited in May 2024 and paid a total of €120 for 2 adults, 2 kids. If pre-booked online, this would have been a total of €166. If we had just waltzed up to buy them on the day without our passes, this would have been a whopping €240. Gardaland do have a Legoland water park on site as well. Some of their tickets offer this as an extra. The water park is tiny. It consists of 3 slides, a wave pool, a lazy river, and a splash park, so it's definitely not worth the add-on in my opinion, but if you manage to get a deal where it's thrown in for free, then great. It is also worth noting that parking is chargeable in Gardaland, even if you have a Merlin pass, as we found out. So on the point of price, Movieland wins it by a mile. The second point we're going to look at today is rides. Of course. So this is where Gardaland shines. There is no arguing that Gardaland has more thrill rides and coasters than Movieland does. The likes of Blue Tornado, Raptor, and Oblivion the Black Hole are undeniably brilliant rides with good theming. These were heavily limited at 1.4 metres and above, similar to Merlin's UK parks. There were a good amount of rides for small children, but not a lot for those in between the two, which did leave our 1.3 centimetre tall 8-year-old at a bit of a loose end at times. For small children, there are 4 different areas with suitable rides throughout the park, which was great, including a Peppa Pig land, so there was plenty for them to see and do. Movieland only has the one coaster, Diabolic. For this reason, we originally ruled out visiting the park altogether, but I am so glad that we changed our mind. There are so many unique and fun rides here, and I am usually only there for the coasters. This park is incredibly creative and imaginative with their concepts, including free drive rides such as Kit Superjet and Magma 2.1 that are driven by professionals, creating a different experience every single time you ride. And Pangea, a self-drive jeep ride through the world of dinosaurs. There were more thrilling rides with a lower height limit as well, and a specific area for younger children with a range of rides, so Movieland was more of a hit with our children. It is worth noting that the majority of the rides here had an element of water, so it's definitely a park for a sunny day. It wouldn't be half as enjoyable if it wasn't. Overall, this one is a tough tie for me, as it really depends on who is in your party, their heights and ages, as to which would be a better fit. Number 3. Queue times. We visited off-peak during the week in school time of May and June 2024. Both parks were thankfully very quiet. Movieland was very quiet, to the point that we were one of the first cars in the car park along with the staff. However, I just don't think that this park gets very busy, as even the ride queue areas are not equipped for long lines. There are very little railings, wait time signs and things like that. It is a lesser known park, so I think this is probably the case. We didn't see any single riders, baby swap or fast pass options here, but you really wouldn't need them. We didn't queue at all, for anything. Everything was walk on, and in most cases we were the only ones on the ride. Gardaland operates like the Merlin parks in the UK. We didn't see any single rider options though, but there was the option to purchase fast track tickets per ride, but that can really rack up, as you can see here. We asked about baby swap at guest services and was told that they do offer this. However, when we asked at each ride, no one knew what we were on about, and that wasn't a translation issue. So that could really cause a problem in the peak times. The queue areas were much bigger here, loads of railings, so they obviously get busy. The most we queued during our off-peak visit was 20 minutes. On the topic of queue times, Movieland just has to be the winner, by far. Number 4. Food. I was pleasantly surprised with the food offering in both parks. I was expecting Gardaland to be like the UK Merlin parks with bog standard fast food options, but it wasn't. Yes, there were some places that offered something similar, however, there were several areas with food huts offering different snacks and cuisines, many with fresh ingredients including fruit pots, kebabs, waffles, pizza and gelato. They were also reasonably priced for a theme park. Again, I was expecting similar pricing to their UK parks, but they were surprisingly decent. The big slices of pizza were around €6, bottled drinks for £2, waffles for £4, a pleasant surprise. Most of the food offerings were centred in one particular food square, which was good to see all of your options in one place, but not so good that if you wanted something from there you'd have to walk all the way back. However, there were plenty of individual snack carts dotted about the place as well. The quality was okay. Some of the food we had was great, some was a bit meh. Movieland had a huge selection of offerings scattered all over the park. The choice of cuisine was vast, including tacos, an upscale Italian, an American food truck, and all were very reasonably priced. Most snacks were around €4 and meals around 10 to 12. A good offering of fresh food as well. We had quite a few corn on the cobs, as well as corn dogs from Tony's. It seemed that everywhere you turned, there was a different food offering, and at those prices you really could afford to snack your way around the park all day if you wanted to. For the food we tried, the quality here was great. Movieland also has several heavily themed restaurants and bars just outside the entrance to the park. We didn't get to try these, but they looked great. There were so many options, and you could really extend your day out by having a sit-down dining experience after your day at the park, something that Gardaland just couldn't compete with. So for me, Movieland won this one. The last point we're going to look at is theming and everything else. Movieland is the definition of theming. It was so well done. It felt like we really were back in Orlando, walking around our favourite parks. There is so much attention to detail, even down to the bins, the Florida misters, the signs, the shops, the rides. Everything here is on brand. It was really, really impressive. The staff here were equally as impressive. There was definitely a magical feel here, and the staff play a big part in that. They were always smiley and super helpful, and most actually act a role for the rides that they operate. They really got into character and made that park what it is. It is also well worth mentioning that the facilities in Movieland were second to none. Everywhere was spotless, even the toilets, which when you have young kids really makes a difference. They also have movie characters wandering the parks and interacting with guests. We saw Wednesday Addams and Captain Jack Sparrow on our recent trip. Just another added bonus that this park offers. Movieland also had a good play park, which was conveniently located to occupy the younger ones in the area of the bigger rides, as well as a huge undercover and air-conned bouncy castle with slides that came in very handy. One final point to mention for Movieland is the shows. This is where it really excels over Gardaland. They have a full show programme running every day, many of which have won awards. They really go all out on the shows, and although a lot is lost in translation, the stunts and interaction is still brilliant. Gardaland had good theming in places, but not all the way through. However, it doesn't have one theme like Movieland does, so I guess it's harder for them to implement that. But there were some good theming spots, such as the Fantasy Kingdom, Jumanji, and in some of the queues for rides like Mammoth and Raptor. There were a couple of kids' play parks here, including one very substantially sized one as well, all of which are super helpful when the taller members of your party are on the bigger rides. There are no shows here. There may be the odd one in the summer months, similar to what they do in the likes of Chessington and things like that here, just small dance show type things, but not the full-blown stunt shows that Movieland offers. The park was very clean. It is geographically much bigger than Movieland, and so you need some comfy shoes to get those steps in. But that means that there are plenty of areas to explore. So, Movieland or Gardaland? That is the question. Both parks provided really enjoyable family days out. However, for me, and this is just for me, Movieland wins it. Everything was just that little bit more unique and memorable in comparison. But I do think it truly depends on who is in your party. If you don't have any young participants, I'd say Gardaland was probably a better fit. If you have a range of ages or some ride-phobic people in your party, I'd absolutely opt for Movieland. If you have visited either of these parks, let us know your thoughts below. And if there's anything that I haven't covered, pop any questions in the comments. We have posted full day vlogs for both parks, so take a look for a more in-depth view on our channel.